welcome to your Kizzy, the one YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red subscribe button down below and turn on the bell icon. Tell me what you think about this video in the comment section.
To welcome you to this morning's press briefing. I will start by acknowledging the presence of my fellow members of Parliament. Starting on my far left is Honourable Pavyuma, Member of Parliament for Usakile, Honourable Robert Francis Kapianga, Member of Parliament from Pika, Honourable Davis Chisopa, Member of Parliament for Mkushi South, and I saw Honourable Kabasoka Mpampi, Member of Parliament for Mwansabo Mbwe. I also want to appreciate you, the Fourth Estate, the media, for the partnership that we've enjoyed together in informing the nation on pertinent issues happening in our country. At the moment, the elephant in the room is the Constitution Amendment Bill number 7, which, as you know, is scheduled to be tabled on the floor of the House on Monday, 15th of December 2025. Before I go any further, I would like to start by appreciating the work done so far by the Oasis Forum. The Oasis Forum has done a commendable job in informing the citizens of the dangers contained in this Constitution Amendment Bill number 7. The Oasis Forum has taken a position in advising government that they should not continue with Constitution Amendment Bill number 7. Countrymen and women, with regards to constitution making process, the philosophy established is that the people and the citizens are vested with the constituent power. So the power rests with the people. The reason why there is a problem now with Constitution Amendment Bill number 7 is that it did not come from the people. And that must be made very clear. You remember, countrymen and women, that when the matter was taken to court by Celestine Mkandila and Munia Zulu, the court adjudged that the process leading up to the formulation of Constitution Amendment Bill number 7 was unconstitutional. What that means is that, as we speak now, Constitution Amendment Bill number 7 has no legs to stand on. It stands on nothing, and it can therefore not stand. It can be described as a fruit from a poisonous tree. So you cannot say, yes, the process was unconstitutional, but the bill is constitutional. So the challenge we have today is that we have a government led by President Hakainde Hichilema that is not ready to listen to the people. President Hakainde Hichilema was told the moment the Court made its ruling, its judgment, we advised him to withdraw the bill that was at Parliament. He remained adamant and kept the bill at Parliament. We further advised that we could not appoint a technical committee on one hand, whilst the other bill which was condemned is still in Parliament. He proceeded and the committee proceeded. The end result was they produced a report and also produced a bill. The question then was, of what use was that bill? Because the bill that was to be tabled for second reading was the bill that was initially presented to Parliament. So I want to make this very clear, that the work the technical committee did and the report the technical committee produced at the moment is of no use. That's the reason why they've abandoned it. We've gone back to the original Constitution Amendment Bill number 7. The same bill that was condemned before or by the Constitutional Court. So what we have today, countrymen and women, we have what is called a non-constitutional constitution amendment process before Parliament, because government has decided to proceed with an illegal process. It has decided to continue processing a bill which is illegal. As far as we're concerned, in that law, Bill 7 does not exist. That is the reason why some witnesses are finding it difficult to contribute to the ongoing consultation at committee stage. Some witnesses, mostly those that swore to defend and protect the Constitution, find it very hard to contribute and submit to the Parliamentary Committee on Bill 7. We, as members of Parliament seated here today, we swore to defend and protect the Constitution. So we will therefore not participate in any process attached to Constitution Amendment Bill number 7. At most, the best we'll do is to go to the committee to remind the committee that they have a duty to uphold the Constitution. If any of us appears before the committee, it will be to go and remind the committee that they were sitting illegally, because the bill that they were interrogating is a bill that does not exist. Is a bill that is illegal because it was born out of a process that was unconstitutional. So, as we appreciate the Oasis Forum, I also want to call upon other political parties to join hands. Let's join efforts with honorable members of Parliament. We join efforts with the Oasis Forum in ensuring that Constitution Amendment Bill number 7 does not go through the second reading. All opposition political parties, my call to them is that we abandon everything else that we want to do. The most important event now, the most important thing to do now is to ensure that Constitution Amendment Bill number 7 does not go through. Because if that bill goes through, that will be the resurrection of a one-party dictatorship, which we loudly rejected in 1991. For me, I, Brian Muntayalo Munduvile, I promise to fight with all that is within me to ensure that Constitution Amendment Bill number 7 does not go through. And we want to tell the UPND government and President Hakainde Hichilema in particular that he should stop forcing this divisive document on the citizens of Zambia. As a country right now, we are going through a number of challenges, and that if we look at Bill 7 is not urgent, it can be priority. Bill 7, the Constitution Amendment Bill number 7 debate is a vowed distraction from the real challenges facing the country. For instance, Bill 7 will not pay farmers. Today as I speak to you, most of our farmers do not even know how they're going to celebrate their Christmas. The farmers that supplied maize to FRA have not been paid. These are poor farmers. President Hakainde Hichilema, you came into power promising farmers that as a fellow farmer, you will look after these farmers. President Hakainde Hichilema, he lured farmers into voting for you because he said you were a farmer and he understood all the challenges that the farmers faced. The question that begs is, what has happened to you as a farmer, President Hakainde Hichilema? Why have you abandoned your flock? Why have you abandoned the farmers, even when you know that these farmers have been facing a number of challenges? I want to remind the President that these are the same farmers who voted for you because you promised that you're going to reduce the cost of fertilizer from 600 to 250. Instead of reducing the price of fertilizer to 250, President Hakainde Hichilema, you instead increased it to 1,100. These farmers went out and borrowed money to buy fertilizers. And after supplying maize to you, you decide not to pay them. What have the farmers done wrong, President Hakainde Hichilema? Food security is security of the country. If these farmers abandon their activities in agriculture, then we're in trouble as a country as regards food security. President Hakainde Hichilema, I want to remind you, it's not the first time you're disappointing farmers. You once went to China and came back and promised that you had found market for soybeans. Farmers, especially in Eastern Province, went out, borrowed, and improved their hectareage growing soya. After harvesting, the farmers were abandoned. A number of farmers actually went into liquidation because their assets were actually grabbed by the creditors that they gotten the money from. President Hakainde Hichilema, I want to appeal to you that Bill 7 is not urgent. What is urgent today, you should prioritize payment to farmers. Payment to farmers. Farmers should be paid. These farmers are going through a number of challenges. Very soon it will be Christmas. They won't even be able to enjoy Christmas with their families. It will soon be time to send their children to college, to university. They will not be able to send their children to university. Those that will be lucky to be paid before their assets are forfeited to the creditors will not be able to even afford to do what they intended to do. So my point there is that this Bill 7 debate is a vile distraction from the real challenges the country is facing. And one of those challenges is non-payment of farmers. So we want to call upon the President to make sure that within the course of next week, let farmers get their payments. They've waited far too long. They are even unable to participate in this year's agricultural season. Bill 7 will not solve the crashing cost of living. People out there are suffering. We just returned from Northern Province where we had gone, for a funeral. There are a number of challenges our people are facing. We had a chance to stop in Mpika, we stopped over in Serenje and Mukushi to speak to our people. The people are saying President Hakainde Hichilema should abandon this Bill 7 and attend to the crashing cost of living. That is what is urgent. They further reminded us that President Hakainde Hichilema made a number of promises. The same speed, the same commitment and arrogance with which he's dealing with Constitution Amendment Bill number 7, if that energy was devoted to reducing the cost of living from 130 to 50 kwachas was earlier promised, instead of increasing the price to 400, I'm sure by now President Hakainde Hichilema would have achieved that. If he devoted this energy that is deploying on Bill 7 to reducing the cost of fuel, maybe today the cost of fuel would have been somewhere around 10 kwacha per liter. So our call on the President is that let's attend to what is urgent. What is urgent is not Bill 7. Bill 7 as it sits today in that committee is a nullity, it's illegal. It has no legs to stand on. It's a product of an illegal process. It's a product of an unconstitutional process. And yet, the President is playing a deaf ear. What President Hakainde Hichilema and the EPND are doing, they are disrespecting a court judgment. President Hakainde Hichilema, you are disrespecting a court judgment, as we see today. What effect will that have on our investors? The confidence the investors will have in our judiciary, in our justice system. What message are we sending to our investors? What message are we sending to the outside world? That this government can ignore court judgment with impunity. They can forget about the court judgment with impunity. But most importantly, that this is a government that is not ready to listen to its people. A government that will not stop for a moment to listen to its people. As we have said, the Constitution Amendment Bill number 7 is not from the Zambian people. Constitution Amendment Bill number 7 is not from the Zambian people. So my advice to the honorable members of parliament, when we're being sworn in, we all swore to protect and defend the Constitution. I want to call upon all honorable members of parliament to remember that. I also want them to know that they risk being held in contempt because they would have been participating in an illegal process. So our job as members of parliament, our job is to defend and protect the Constitution. So the task that we have with my fellow members of parliament with me today is to communicate to the country that we'll stand strong, we'll stand with you, we'll stand with the Zambian people, we'll stand with the Oasis Forum, we'll stand with the Law Association of Zambia, the churches, and all other well-meaning Zambians in protecting and defending. We are calling up. We want to ask the citizens to engage their members of parliament. Citizens should engage their members of parliament to ensure that they get instructions from you. Give them instructions on what they should do on Monday. Ensure that your MP represents you on Monday. They should represent what you stand for as a constituency, because as members of parliament, we are mere delegates. We are your servants. Ours is not to take to parliament our personal views, but the views and aspirations of you, the people that we serve. So we stand here. We stand with the poor people. We are speaking for the farmers. We want to speak for the miners. It's urgent, President Hakainde Hichilema, that as you attend to the farmers, also ensure that the statutory instrument on local content is speedily implemented. We need to implement the statutory instrument on local content so that the benefits to the mining sector goes to the youths on the copper belt, to the unemployed youths on the copper belt. We want you to go further, Mr. President, to ensure that we set minimum wage for sectors like the mining sector, so that these mining houses do not continue with the practices that they're doing today. Set up sectoral minimum wages so that the miners workers working in the sector, whether they're working with a subcontractor, they're working with the transporter, or indeed mainstream mining, the conditions should be uniform. Miners right now are being mistreated because the big mining houses are preferring to give out contract mining to subcontractors so that they run away from certain obligations to their workers. So what is urgent, Mr. President, is not Constitutional Amendment Bill number 7, but the plight of the miners of the Copper Belt and other parts of the country where mining activities are going on. Countrymen and women, I want to tell you that even the members of parliament from the UPND know that there's something wrong with the Constitutional Amendment Bill number 7. President Hakainde Hichilema is facing resistance from his own MPs. That is the reason why just 2 days ago, there was one senior member of the party who drove into parliament grounds and started distributing money to UPND members of parliament and the ministers alike. If at all they were very clear, if at all they were sure that Bill 7 contained progressive clauses, if they were sure that Bill 7 was properly processed up to the bill stage, why are they paying their members? Why are they distributing money in car parks? This was done in full view of all members of parliament. Money was sent and was paid to members of parliament of the UPND so they support Bill 7. It is very shameful indeed. I think the easiest way out, President Hakainde Hichilema, would have been to stop this particular process. This would have given you an opportunity to consult further so that going forward, the bill that will come to Parliament for constitutional amendment is a bill that is coming from the people. It's a bill that contains the aspirations of the Zambian people. So as we stand now, the debate or the bill that is being scrutinized in committee is the same bill that was condemned by the Constitutional Court, as it were. So we still insist that that is not priority. We've given you a number of priorities that I wish to go through very quickly. President Hakainde Hichilema abandoned the process of Bill 7 and pay the farmers. Abandon the process of Bill 7 and solve the crushing cost of living. Abandon Bill 7 and resolve the challenges on broken promises to do with milling, fertilizers, among others. Abandon Bill 7 and look at the plight of truck drivers, for instance. We need to come up with sectoral minimum wage. You can't come up with a minimum wage that is uniform across the sectors. If you look at, for instance, our brothers and sisters, I'm talking about truck drivers because we had a chance to interact with them in Serenje. They were saying, please speak for us. We need to come up with sectoral minimum wages. Transport sector, the mining sector. These are the things that are urgent, Mr. President, and not Constitutional Amendment Bill number 7. So we want to join others that are speaking for marketeers that are going through a number of challenges, ranging from their trading places and indeed lack of business, as it were. So there are a lot of things that we can speak to, Mr. President. Challenges in the markets, challenges with minibus drivers, challenges with truck drivers, non-payment to farmers, and so on. So you have a lot on your plate to deal with. But you just can't abandon all this and rush to go and process a bill that was declared to be unconstitutional. So I thought it was very important that as members of Parliament, we come to you to assure you that we'll continue until Monday to speak to others, political parties and others, so that we can stop the Constitutional Amendment Bill as it comes up for second reading. So ladies and gentlemen, that is what I wanted to communicate to you this morning. If there are any questions, points of clarification, I think this will be the time that we can attend to them. No questions?
No questions. Any questions? Or is it everything's clear? Mr. President, it appears that the journalists are happy with your statement, and therefore we can end here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.